visitors we most dread. Public enemy number one.
We've created.
But for scientists, cockroaches are a remarkable source of up. They prepare to invade. This female roach is about to lay. On the tip of her abdomen is a capsule full of eggs. It's a ticking cockroach time bomb. The capsule can be stashed in a packing case or hidden in a book. Undetected, it'll be transported to a new territory. Within a few weeks, between 16 and 64 young cockroaches will emerge. And whatever we throw at them, roaches, wings of other roaches, they will even eat paper and cardboard. If there should be a real food shortage, they will simply eat each other. But they can also go for long periods without food. If a cockroach loses its head, its body can go on living for several weeks. Equipped with these practical skills, cockroach species have managed to survive on Earth
from forest to savanna and desert, with quite a range of shapes and ways of life. Species that live in colonies, species that take care of their young, even species that are solitary, unlike the pest species.
Many tropical roaches are bright and colorful. Some can reach an impressive size. The giant cockroach of Madagascar measures 8 centimeters long. They can be attentive parents, feeding and protecting their young. In all, scientists have recorded more than 3,500 different species of roach. Some tropical cockroach species chose to live alongside people and to live off them. These roaches followed humans wherever they traveled and so spread across the world. The urban environment has become their natural habitat. And the hidden world beneath our city streets is cockroach heaven. Sewers provide them with warmth, moisture, darkness, and all the food they can eat. Here they thrive and reproduce. Though they are reputed to spread disease, cockroaches are in fact very careful about their own hygiene. All the same, if they walk on our food after walking in our sewers, they will inevitably contaminate it. If cockroaches were content to stay down in the sewers, we wouldn't mind them so much. But they're always ready to explore. Cracks, pipes, and wiring conduits make easy routes into our homes. No one is safe from attack. And if you should wake to discover roaches raiding your kitchen, you'll probably want to strike back and strike fast. But stop and think before you deliver the fatal blow. What if you were actually about to destroy a valuable asset? For scientists, the cockroach is anything but a mere nuisance to be exterminated. For some, it has attained celebrity status. The cockroach is now conquering new territories, poised to invade the world of research. Its athletic body fascinates biologists. It is inspiring the design of the robots of tomorrow. And it's even been chosen as the lead character in experiments using robots to manipulate living creatures. The cockroach has all the qualities you could wish for in a laboratory animal. It's cheap and requires little care. So roaches have been welcomed into the labs, where they're bred, fed, and protected. The cockroach's scientific career began when researchers noticed its extraordinary ability to run away. Those who have already encountered cockroaches know how difficult it is to crush them. Before your foot has even touched the floor, the cockroach is already well on its way to safety.
If you try to step on a cockroach, the wind that is developed by your foot is detected by hairs that are on appendages called cerci that are on the back of the animal.
The cerci are like an extra pair of antennae that tell the cockroach what's going on behind it. At the slightest movement in the air, their hypersensitive hairs generate a nerve impulse.
The cockroach is able to determine not only that there was a threatening wind, but also where it's coming from. And we worked out where that information goes in the thoracic ganglia. And so they connect up to interneurons that sort this out and then ultimately direct leg movements to make the animal turn in such a way that it would move away from the wind, and so that it could then run very fast. And it happens in a very short period of time.
As well as its brain, the cockroach has 3 large nerve centers or ganglia. These act like secondary brains and direct its leg movements. When the cerci detect the presence of danger, these ganglia relay the message directly to the roach's legs, bypassing the brain. The roach can react instantly.
From the time the wind is turned on to the time it starts moving is about 50 milliseconds.
The roach is one of the fastest animals in the world. It can cover 50 times its own body length in 1 second, the equivalent of a human running at 300 kilometers an hour. Roy Ritzman has spent over 30 years working with cockroaches. He heads a laboratory at the University of Cleveland, which devotes most of its research work to them. Since discovering the secret of their escape reflex, Ritzman and his team have been trying to understand how cockroaches manage such remarkable speeds. For their research, they breed large tropical cockroaches. The experiments always begin the same way, anesthetizing the insects with carbon dioxide.
So we will mark the points on the end segments of the leg so that we can determine where the joints are as the animal is moving.
As it's an insect, the cockroach has one particularly useful anatomical feature.
Cockroaches have an exoskeleton, so their skeleton is outside the animal. So you don't have to use x-rays to look at what the skeleton's doing. And you can very easily see what the skeletal structure is doing just looking at it from the outside.
The scientists trained their subjects to run on a specially designed cockroach treadmill. This way the roaches could go on running without getting lost.
That's pretty good right there.
Yeah. You just leave it there, just
Right.
let it move itself.
Using this system, the scientists can observe the insect from below and from the side. Its leg movements are so fast they can't be studied with the naked eye. A high-speed camera, capable of recording 500 frames per second, films the experiment. Played back in slow motion, the videos make it possible to break down the movements of each leg and to construct a 3-dimensional model of how the cockroach runs. The front and hind legs on one side lift and fall in conjunction with the middle leg on the other side. so the cockroach always has 3 feet in contact with the ground. Robots programmed to prefer light manage to draw the colony toward a lighter area against the insect's natural instinct to stay in the dark. If the robots are capable of influencing cockroaches, perhaps it may someday be possible to use InSpots to draw them away from our homes. That's probably an impossible dream, but Project Decoy's research has shed new light on herding behavior. It might, for example, lead to new techniques for controlling flocks. Just as the InSpots influence cockroaches, artificial sheep might be able to influence the collective decision-making process which leads a flock in one direction or another. These artificial sheep would not be machines resembling real sheep, but decoys reproducing some basic types of behavior, like bleating. They could persuade the flock to stay within a specific area. Fences would no longer be needed. So, cockroach-inspired robots could one day help control animals, making the roach truly a super cockroach. In the meantime, artist Garnet Hertz has reversed these roles and has given roaches the chance to control robots. Thanks to him, the insects are now getting their own wheels.
Completely untrained insects. I don't know if he could even train them. So as the cockroach runs on the ball, it makes the robot move. If the cockroach turns to the right, the robot moves to the right, and if the cockroach turns to the left, the robot moves to the left.
When the robot approaches an obstacle, diodes blink, warning the driver. If the obstacle is to the right, the diodes on the right light up. The cockroach will naturally turn away from the light, and so swerves to the left. So much for the theory. In practice, their driving is somewhat erratic.
Each one drives the robot differently. Some drive it very, very fast. Some go slow and long. Some run fast and stop. Some crash into things. And so each has a very different character. Each cockroach has its own personality. So in order to keep track of that, I give them names.
Julie, Pedro, and company are now recognized works of contemporary art. But for some people, none of this is new. They've long been convinced of the exceptional talents of roaches.
Look at that. That's the beauty of biology. The roach is able to climb up a nylon thread. A day that robots can do that.
We're never going to want cockroaches in our homes. But now we know they have many hidden qualities, even beauty. When a young roach sheds its skin to allow a new one to grow, it emerges as the purest white, its wings as delicate and fine as a dragonfly's. It seems the reviled cockroach is a creature of many layers, a miraculous combination of elite engineering, social cohesion, and evolutionary success. It is, truly, a super cockroach.